Alright, looks like we have every single weapon in Monster Hunter World. So starting from the Great Sword, we have Chrome Razor 2, which is the War Tree Great Sword, with hidden poison element and 2 level 1 Gecko slots, and 3 augmentation slots. Moving on, we have Nergigante's Great Sword, which is titled as Purgation's Atrocity, with extremely high Elder Seal, 150 Dragon Element, and 1008 attack, but with only 1 augmentation slot. Moving on, we have the Thunder Greatsword, the Ice Greatsword, the Frost Blaze, from the Legiana tree, the Great Jagras tree, the Jagras Hacker 3, which is essentially one of the best greatsword. And then moving on, we have the Great Gyros tree, Melody's Kiss 3, Levathia's tree, Puki Greatsword, which is a poison one, Rathalos Greatsword, the Bone Greatsword, Valhazak, Anjanath, Water, from Giratodas, of course, Barath, Radabin, Dragonbone, Kirin with Thunder Element, Zora Magdaros, Blacksteel, which is the Cruciala de Aura, Ice Elemental. Moving on to Xeno Shiva. The Workshop weapon tree can be obtained with Hunter King coins and Ace Hunter King coins. Devil Joe's Greatsword, which is Anguish. Wyvern Ignition Impact, which you may obtain from the special event quest, every Hunter Strain. Lunastra's 3 Greatsword. So start out with the Basilgeuse Greatsword. Moving on to Nergigante and Xenojiva. So that's every single Greatsword in the game. Now moving on to Longsword. Let's go to the Longsword tree. We have the Iron Tree, Nergigante Tree, Titiyaku, Kuluyaku, Uragan, Rathian, Rathalos, Bone, Basilgeuse, Anjanath, Giratodas, Valhazak, Tobi Kadachi, Legiana, Hornator, Dragonbone, Zora Magnoros, Blacksteel, which is Teostra, Xenojiva, Workshop Arena Divine Slasher Great Longsword, Devil Joe Longsword, River Calamity, the new Longsword from the USJ event quest, Azor Star Dragon Dance. And lastly, we have 3 Lunastra Longsword, starting out with the Basilgeuse Empress Sword Blades, moving on to Nergigante Empress Sword Room, and lastly finishing off with Empress Sword Sticks, which is Lunastra Xenojiva Longsword. Alright, that's every single Longsword from the game. Now moving on to Sword and Shield, one of the most underrated weapons in Monster Hunter series. Let's go to the trees. First of all, we have the Chrome Slicer 2, which is from the basic Ore tree. Nergigante Eradication Vanguard, Rathalos tree, Corona, Workshop Weapon tree, Master Ban, Water Elemental tree, Rogue Wave 3, Starting off with the Ice Elemental weapon, we have Legiano Tree, Rathian, Royal Rose, Plumu, Lumu Tabar 3. Poison weapon, Datura Blossom 3, which is from the Puke tree. Moving on, we have the Great Gyros tree, which is great for paralysis. And we have the Bone tree, Radobin tree, Great Jagras, Thunder element, Lightning Nemesis. Moving on, we have Bareth Club 3, Enginoth, Dragonbone, in this case, Dragonbone Sword 3, Kirin, Blacksteel, Teostra's Emblem, Xenojiva Tree, Devilture Weapon Fatal Bite, and finishing off with the last 3 Lunastra weapons. Empress Edge Blaze can be crafted with 1 Basil Geese gem. Nergigante Tree, Empress Edge Rune, and lastly the Xenojiva Lunastra weapon, Empress Edge Sticks. Moving on to Dewblades, we have a lot of good options. Since Dewblades is really good in terms of inflicting status, we have very good elemental weapon in this case. Starting off with Chrome Slicer 2, Decimation Claws from Nergigante Tree. And then we have Titiyaku Stew Destroyer 3 with Hidden Thunder element. Basil Geese Tree, we have Basil Hawk Rook Slayer with high blast value. Moving on to Ice Elemental weapons, we have Freeze Chain. Kuruyaku, we have Arcania 3. We have Workshop Weaponry with Water Weapon. Moving on, we have the Bone Tree, which is a classic. Angelos Tree with Fire Elemental and negative 20% affinity. Diablo's Tree with high raw attack value, a hidden Ice Elemental, a level 2 decoration slot, 15 plus bonus defense. Moving on for Water Dewblades, we have Duratotus Dewblades. For Fire, we have Levathias Dewblades. Hornator is good for inflicting paralysis. Toby Kadachi for Thunder attack. Odogaron's Tree, we have Sing with Hidden Fire Elemental. Moving on, we have the classic Dragonbone weapon with high Dragonbone attack and low Elder Seal. Thunder weapon, we have Monarch, which is from the Kirin Tree. We have Sora Magdor's Dewblades with good blast attack and negative 20% affinity. The Blacksteel weapon is Fire and Ice with both ice and blast attack power of 240 and 10% affinity. Moving on, we have the Xenojiva Dewblades, Xenorax, and then Deviljoe Dewblades with high Elder Seal. Finishing off with 3 Empress Daggers from the Lunastra weapon tree. We have Empress Daggers Blaze, Empress Daggers Room, and Empress Daggers Sticks. And lastly, we have the new Downy Crack Love Dewblades from the limited edition event quest, where Sun meets Moon, with extremely high sleep elemental attack. Now let's move on to Hammer. And let's go to the weapon trees. Starting off with the Ore tree, we have Iron Hammer. And then we have Nergigante's weapon. Moving on, we have Workshop Weapon Tree, which has really high Ice Elemental attack. Water Elemental, Great Gyros Tree, Poison attack, from the Pookie one. Lightning Bash 3 from Tobikadachi Thunder Elemental Tree. The Bone Hammer, Valhazak, Pandemonium's Root with high dragon damage and average Elder Seal. Moving on with Rodobun, Uragan, Kuliaku with high sleep hidden status. Diablo's Shatter, one of the best hammers in the game right now, with hidden ice elemental attack, and has really high DPS potential with Elementless Jackal. Barristry, Angina Striker 3, Dragonbone Basher 3, Zora Magnurus Hammer. In terms of Black Steel, we have, hey, what's up, Blue Moon? Hey, Fluffy Doublades, yes. We have crafted every single weapon. In Monster Hunter World. Finally, every single weapon. So I'm just going over a few of them. Black Steel, we have the Cruciala Diora Colossus, which is shaped like a rattlesnake. And then we have the Xeno Jiva Hammer, right here, with low Elder Seal and white sharpness. The Workshop Weapon Tree, we have Binder Mace with high paralysis and a level 3 decoration slot. The Devil Joe Crush Hammer, which is extremely good. High raw attack value. Lunastra Weapon Trees, we start off with the Betelgeuse Empress Mace Blaze. Moving on towards Nergigante, Empress Mace Rune. And lastly, finishing off with Xenojiva, Empress Mace Sticks. Thank you. Now lastly, let's go over Hunting Horn, which is one of my favorite weapons, and perhaps the most used weapon. We have Fortissimo 2 from the Iron Tree. Nergigante Tree, we have Desolation's Overture, which is pretty great, but later on will be overshadowed by the Lunastra Nergigante weapon. This one is pretty good for earplugs and affinity. Moving on, we have Thunder Weapon, Lightning Drum, which is essentially the Tobikadachi weapon. I remember using this against Nergigante, which is quite interesting. Kuroyaku, we have Hidden Sleep Elemental, 360. Rathian, Royal Chordmaker, one of the most, underrated weapon, but very pretty, because it's pink. And then we have Water Elemental weapon, right here, from the Juratotus tree. Legiana, which has the Hidden Ice Elemental, which has the activated Ice Elemental attack. Hi Jimmy, what's up? Thanks for the biddy as well, Blue Moon. I know, right? I've finished every single weapon. It's insane. And then moving on to the Heavy Bonehorn, which is so underrated. That's one of them. It's actually one of my top 3 hunting horn at this point. Because it has 3 different augmentation slots, and essentially it has really high attack if you slot Elementless Gem. And the melodies are pretty good. Attack up large, which is really good for speedrun. Now moving on with Dodo Gamma Tree, Dodo Gamma Horn with medium blast damage, but 2 slots. Very good. Engineeth is not exactly the best, but with high fire elemental attack. Pookie with poison elemental attack. Just look at the poison value. 540 with no buff whatsoever. And then moving on, we have the Paloma Tree with pretty great melodies. Stamina use reduced, which is good if you're playing with Doublades users and bow users. Wind pressure negated. 2 use drain reduced, which is perfect for tougher fights, such as the Lunastra weapon, Lunastra Hunt. And then we have Bazookies, one of my top 5 hunting horns. Later on will be overshadowed by the Lunastral weapon. The Vasport tree, extremely pretty design, one of the most good looking weapons in the game. Radobone tree, perfect. Dragonbone tree. The Kirin tree is really nice. It's super defensive with divine protection, etc. This is the weapon you want to use when you are hunting with teammates, and they might have really low defense. Thank you, Blue Moon. Thank you. Thank you for your support. And now we have Black Steel. This is more easily one of my top 5 hunting horns. Teostra's Orphe doesn't have really high attack power, but the melodies are just insane. Abnormal status attack increased, stacks with any weapon with blast, paralysis, sleep. All element negated negates water blight, fire blight, thunder blight, etc. Even negates effluvial in the Rotting Vial. Essentially, this is the anti-Valhazak hunting horn you want to bring for the pound. And then moving on, we have the classic Xenojiva weapon with low outer seal, but later on it can be overshadowed by the Lunastra weapons. The Devil Jewel horn is one of my most used hunting horn, and essentially one of my most used weapons in Monster Hunter World. Moving on to the Lunastra weapons. The Lunastra Raw Blaze is the Bazooki's weapon. This is the meta speedrun weapon before the Final Fantasy armor was released, because of its natural white sharpness and attack up large buff. Moving on to Empress Raw Room, which is a Nergigante tree. It's miles better compared to the Nergigante horn because it has pretty good sharpness and it comes with haste and recovery skill. And lastly, we have Empress Raw Sticks, which is the weapon I used against Arch-Tempered Crucial Diora because it comes with the buff all wind pressure negated, which is much better than wearing 5 wind resist decorations. And it comes with defense up large, which means this is the horn you want to use when you're fighting very tough monsters. Alright, so that's every single hunting horn, and now we're getting to interesting weapon types. So starting off with the lens. We have the Iron Tree, the Chrome Lens 2. Does the job very well with 270 paralysis attack, but it's actually hidden, so you can boost it with the free elemental decals, or you can use the elementless decals. The Nergigante weapon is always really good, but it's overshadowed by the Lunastra weapons. The Lagiana Halberd is not exactly great, but it comes with white sharpness, which is good if you're using the new Final Fantasy Dragoon armor set to prevent sharpness loss. Kuliyaku Tree, basic 360 sleep element. Dodogama Tree with high blast. The Thunder weapon is actually really good against Nergigante. You can speedrun Nergigante with this weapon. Puki Poison weapon is also pretty well. Has 540 poison attack. Moving on to Rathalos Blue Prominence, one of the most good looking weapons in Monster Hunter World, with 300 attack for fire. And now we have the Bone Lens, heavy duty. Valhazak, love Sorrow, I love the name, and I love the design. Average Elder Seal and medium Dragon Elemental attack. Moving on to Hornator, which can put monster, which can kill the monster with hidden blast elemental attack. And now we have Barath, Odogarum, really pretty. Water Elemental, Water Spike 3. Dragon Bone Lance. The Basilgeuse one is pretty too. And then moving on to Kirin, we have the Black Steel, which is Kushala the Aura's fan. It's inspired by the horse, so it has the horse motif. Every single Kushala the Aura's weapon the weapon design is excellent. They are all inspired by animals. So this one is inspired by the horse. I think this one is actually inspired by the turtle, I think. Yeah, but there are other weapons from the Kushala the Aura tree that's inspired by the horse, the lions, and the rattlesnakes, etc. And now moving on to the Devil Drill weapon right here. Pretty good. And then lastly, finishing off with 3 very good Lunastral weapons: Blaze, Rune, and Styx. And lastly, we have the Sapphire Star Lance, which can be obtained from the event quest Midnight Mayhem. Now moving on to Gunlance. Starting off with the classic Iron Tree, we have Chrome Gunlance 2. And then we have the Nergigante weapon right here. Tobi Kadachi with high Thunder Elemental attack. Rathalos, 3 level Shelling. Rathian, right here, Royal Bust, which is good because it has level 4 Shelling. Joratodas, Jora Buster 3, which is good for water attack. Legiana is great for Ice Elemental. The bone weapon here is nothing to write home about because it has level 2 Shelling. Basilgeuse Buster is good. The Great Jagras Gunlance, the Great Gyros Gunlance, and now we have the Basilgeuse Gunlance, the Bearth one, the Anjanath one, Dragon Bone, Zora Magnus, which is pretty great. It has level 4 long Shelling type, very useful. Now we have the Kushala the Aura Gunlance, inspired by the lion, as you can see right here. The Xeno Jiva one is good. And now we have Double Joe with level 3 Shelling. And lastly, finishing off, we have the classic 3 Lunastral weapons: the Blaze, Rune, and Styx. Now moving on to Switch Axe. We have the classic Iron Tree weapon, and then moving on to Nergigante with Power Veil. Legiana for Ice Elemental attack. Thunder Elemental from the Tobi Kadachi weapon tree. Uragon tree. The Great Jagras tree. Jagras Raider. Basilgeuse. Rathalos. Very pretty. Boom. Valhazak. Juratodas. Lumu. Barath. Axe of Demons from Diablo's tree. Moving on, we have the Anjanath weapon. Dragon Bone Slicer 3. Kirin. Black Steel, which is from the Teostra weapon tree. Xenojiva. Devil Joe. And lastly, we have the 3 classic Lunastral weapons: Empress Axe, Blaze, Rune, and Styx. Alright, moving on to Charge Blade. Let's go to the weapon tree. So starting off with the Ore weapon tree, Nergigante, Rathalos, Juratodas Water Elemental weapon, Legiana Ice Elemental weapon, Rathian, Boom, Diablos, Great Jagras, Dodo Gamma, Great Gyros, Valhazak, Toby Kadachi, Odogaron, Dragonbone, Zora Magnoris, Blacksteel, which is from the Cruciala Diora weapon class, Xenojiva, Deviljho, Dante's Devil Sword, which can be crafted by using 2 red orbs, Lunastral weapons, Blaze, Rune, and Sticks. And now moving on to Insect Glaives. We have quite a few weapons here. Starting off with the classic iron weapon. Moving on to Catastrophe's Light, one of the most used, medium ranked insect glaives. Rathalos, Fire Dance weapon. Kuruyaku, Hidden Sleep Elemental weapon. Titiyaku with Thunder Hidden Elemental. Legiana with Freezing attack abilities. Puki Puki with Poison Elemental. Dodogama with Medium Blast. The classic Bone Tree, which can inflict paralysis with free elemental attack. Valhazak weapon with average Elder Seal and 1 level 2 decoration slot. Anjanath weapon with fire elemental attack. Water Glaive from the Duratotus tree. Ice elemental weapon from the Diablos tree. Toby Kadachi thunder weapon right here. And then Odogaron weapon Vice. Dragonbone tree is pretty decent. Kieran has really good thunder elemental attack and it looks amazing. Blacksteel from the Cruciala Diora tree and it looks like a squid. Really love the design and the tip of the glaive actually glows. Xenojiva right here, nothing to write home about because it can be overshadowed by the Lunastral weapons. Now we have the Deviljho weapon, which is pretty amazing for speedrun, of course. And then lastly, we have 3 Lunastral weapons, Blaze, Rune, and Sticks. And now we have the Final Fantasy collaboration event, which is exclusive for console users for now. Now moving on to Libelgum. Perfect for inflicting status. So starting off with the iron weapon, Cross Bloods 2. If we go through the weapon type, we can see this one is pretty good in terms of dealing normal ammo and piercing ammo, with some poison ammo abilities. Now with the Nergiganche weapon, we have a lot more ammo types to utilize. This one has paralysis and sleep, and they go to level 2. And it has really good normal and spread ammo type. The Plume one is good in terms of normal ammo, but it doesn't have very good attack power. So moving on, we have Basilgeuse tree right here, the Typhoon 2, Great Jagras, Madness, yes, Madness, exactly, the Great Jagras tree. It's the fire weapon. Rathalos tree, very pretty. Thunder Elemental tree, Lightning Blitz 3. Ice Elemental tree from the Legiana weapon tree. Frost Blitz 2. The classic Sniper Shot 2 from the Bone tree. And then moving on to Valhazak with low deviation and Vibrant Blast. Anjanath weapon tree with minus 30% affinity, Anjanath Buster. Duratotus tree, water weapon. The Vathias tree, Barath, Odogaron, Dragon Boom, Workshop, Kieran. I love the design. Mystical 3-horn. Absolutely great. Black Steel. It's a hornet, so it's inspired by the beast this time. Xenojiva. Great Bowgun, which has access to a lot of ammo types. Excels in poison, paralysis, and sleep. Especially paralysis. Can hold up to 4 paralysis ammos. And they're level 2 as well. Devil Joe. And we have 3 Lunastral weapons. Blaze from the Basilgeuse tree. Rune from the Nergigante tree. And Sticks from the Xenojiva tree. And essentially, if you want to speedrun Kulve Taroth, use a light bowgun from the Lunastra and Xenojiva weapon tree because of thunder ammo. Now moving on to heavy bowgun. So we have the classic Chrome Assault. And then we have Nergigante, Water Elemental Cannon, Titiaku, Legiana, Great Jagras, Anjanath, Bone Tree, Diablos, Griffin Bazooka, which is pretty amazing in terms of the explosive type ammo types. I think this one can deal cluster and sticky. And Wyvern. Alright, now we have Puke, Radabun, Dodogama, Tobikadachi, Dragon Bone, Kieran, Zora Magnus, Black Steel, which is from the Teostra weapon tree. This one looks amazing. Xenojiva, Devil Show. Lastly, we have the 3 classic Lunastral weapon designs: Blaze, Rune, and Sticks. And now lastly, we have the bows. Starting off with the Iron Tree, we have Alloy Bow 2. And then we have Nergigante's weapon tree, Doom's Shaft. Kuruyaku weapon right here. Uragan, Rathian, Rathalos, Water Elemental Water Shot from the Juratotus weapon tree, Legiana, Snow Fletcher, one of the top 5 elemental bows in the game right now, and definitely the best Legiana weapon in the game. Bone Tree, Dahazak, Diablos, which is good for elementless build with raw attack value. Puke, Anjanath Fireball, one of my favorite weapons for soloing Arch-Tempered, Dahazak, Palomo, etc. Tobikadachi, Dragon Boom, Black Steel, Xenojiva, Workshop, Grey Hunter's Bow, which has access to every single coding except for the power one. So this is a very good support build. Devil Joe and Lunastra, Blaze, Rune, and Sticks. So there we are. There are 14 weapon types in Monster Hunter World, and I have crafted every single weapon from the workshop. So here we have a new problem. If we go to our item box here, and if we go to change equipment and go to the weapon section, I have 28 pages of weapons. But apparently you can only carry ear horns. Yes, finally we've crafted every single weapon. It's insane. So essentially I can carry up to 1,000 weapons and armor from Monster Hunter World. But we have a new problem here because apparently we have a lot of Kulve Taroth relics weapons. And to be honest, I didn't obtain 75% of the Kulve Taroth weapons, so I still have 25% of KT weapons to go. And I think I'm running out of space, so if we go to the smithy again, right here, we can do the math on the stream, it's okay. If we go to, let's see, change equipment, there we go. Where do I see how many weapons I have? Probably here. Change equipment. That's 28 pages. And I remember there's a way to see everything. Equipment box? There we go. So here we go. So there are 5 rows of 5 weapons on every single tab. So this is 25 weapons. And I have 37 pages, I think? 36. Right? So far we have, let's do the math. 25 times 36 is 900 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, because we have 4 open slots. So I have 896 armor and weapon. And that is a big problem because the game itself only allows me to carry 1000 armor and weapon combined. Which means at some point this week or maybe next week, I am going to focus on farming Kulve Taroth. And as we all know, Kulve Taroth drops a lot of shitty weapons. And very soon, my item box cannot hold everything. Which is a dilemma for me, because I have to start thinking about which weapon to delete. And it can be tricky, so hopefully I'm going to upload this video on YouTube and Twitter and check the Capcom Monster Hunter World team. And hopefully they understand the situation and will be able to remove the item cap from 1000 to maybe 2000, because I really want to make every single armor pieces as well. Because if we go to the smithy right here, let's go to forge equipment and armor. As you can see, I really didn't craft every single armor. Because I know if I do it, I would run out of space to craft every single weapon, so there is a trade-off here. And if Capcom is willing to remove the item cap, or just improve it, expand it from 1000 to 2000, that would be great. That would make a big difference, and I can craft every single armor pieces as well. See, so far I've been crafting a lot of the good ones, the real TH weapons. The Dragon from the Final Fantasy collaboration, Lunastra Beta, Lunastra Alpha, which I can make, but I still don't want to because I don't have enough space. Dante, Arthur Rathlow, Kushala Deora, Teostra, Gamma, Kieran Gamma, and Balthazar Gamma. So yeah, this is just a really short stream, and hopefully I can get every single Kulve Taroth weapon that I want in the next 2 weeks. Because so far, I think I've completed every single event quest. And let me tell you, the road to obtain every single weapon is so difficult. It's insane. So let's go to my guild card and let's see it. So right now I'm rank 451. And I've done over 999 investigations and 120 arena quests. And if we see the weapon usage, I am using Hunting Horn essentially to speedrun every single monster. So I have almost 2000 usage of Hunting Horn. And I do have 172 usage for Heavy Bowgun, and I think most of them are Kulve Taroth hunts, and a few of them were actually from the piercing bowgun that I made from the Kulve Taroth weapon, which is called Taroth Assault Support. I used this weapon to speedrun Basilgeuse to get the Basilgeuse gem. Was able to do this in 5 minutes. I think it's 4 minutes and 4 seconds, etc. And then we have the elemental bow build, which I really like, with 281 usage. But I'm still missing the mind's eye decoration, so hopefully I can get some really good tier 2 investigations for tempered monsters and start grinding geckos. Alright, so that's it. That's everything I have to cover. Some of the things that frustrates me are probably the weapon parts. There are weapon parts that are really hard to get, so if we talk to a smithy, you can probably understand what's going on. So let's go to upgrade equipment. So let's start with the Valhazak weapon. So the first bottleneck I encountered is every single Valhazak weapon, every single Anjanath weapon, and every single Great Garrus weapons. They forces me to farm Valhazak fan. And as you may know, Valhazak's head is so high up there and it's really difficult to reach him. And that's why using a hunting horn or a melee weapon is really hard to break the head to obtain the fan. So you're essentially relying on the gold and silver reward box, which is why I started using bow for target destroyer. And so that's one of the bottlenecks. And then we have another bottleneck, which is the Anjanath fan, because it's another monster that's so high and you can break the face effectively with melee weapon, and that's when I switched to Taroth Arrow Water to break the face. And then moving on to the most hated monster of all time, the Double Joe. The top fan can only be obtained with silver or gold investigation box. You can carve it, but the chances is really low. I think it's a 4% chance. And you have to break the face again, which can be really difficult to do unless you're willing to use vine traps. And lastly, let's see, if we forge the equipment right here, I think let's go to the Empress. Yes, the Empress tree. So that is the Lunastra weapon. As you can see, I have 4 Lunastra gem, but 2 horns. I feel like the game gives you more gems than it gives you horns. So hopefully they can buff up the Lunastra horn drop rate and lower the Lunastra gem drop rate just a little bit so they can balance out. So I think that's it. That's everything I have to cover. I mean, literally took me 900 hours to craft every single weapon, but I would say a lot of the times are spent doing crown farming. And if we go to my guild card again, I have achieved the Platinum Trophy on May 31st. I think the last one is this one. Right. This one I got on May 31st on the stream. So yeah, there's still a lot of things to do, and hopefully Capcom can remove the item cap to 2000, I hope. So I can keep crafting every single armor and farm all the decals and hopefully reach Hunter rank 999 sometime later this year. Alright, so I'm going to end the stream now. Probably going to upload this video to YouTube. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for stopping by giving me the biddies. Thank you so much. And this video will go into the archive stream for sure. Thank you.